Excited to be here, excited for another Big 12 season. Um, One of the things that we're really excited about is the group of young ladies that we have and, the type of work that they've been putting in. We had an unfortunate injury with Eylia probably 7 or 8 days ago, and it kind of, uh, threw a little monkey wrench and everything, but we have some other ones that are available to step up and ready to do that. And looking forward to capturing a really great season for us now that we have a new nucleus of young ladies. The one thing that I can say is now we have Big 12 players where the transfer portal is very helpful with us to be able to do that. Um, on top of NIL and collective and all that kind of stuff. So, we have some kids that come from other Power Five programs that have experience winning and some great leadership. And so they understand the culture that we're building. They understand the culture that is needed to be able to sustain winning and be able to get winning and be able to put it at the forefront each and every day. And that's what they work for every single day. I was just down watching Kateri get some extra shots in before practice today, and they all shoot afterwards too. And this is a group that we don't have to worry about being in the gym because, again, they come from that level, so they understand. They all have aspirations of the WNBA and overseas and things like that. So you don't have to motivate them outside of the things that they don't want to do. So I'm really excited about that. The staff, everybody's doing really well. We got one of my assistants, Miss China, who's getting ready to have her firstborn child in next month. So we're really excited about that too, add another addition to our family. And I always like to point out our staff because of the sacrifices that they make during the year and outside of the year, just because, if we're not in this for the right reasons, and that's to take care and make sure the well-being of all the young ladies and student athletes that we are, have under our watch every day, then why are you doing this? But we really look forward to taking care of them every single day, and I'm so thankful for the staff that I have. Eddie has been great. He's coming in, getting to know everybody. He's been visible at our practices, coming over. He's met with me one-on-one. He's came over and have opportunities to say hello to young ladies and things like that. And just really looking for a lot of great things. One of the things that he's been talking about is the same thing we're talking about, is just kind of getting everybody together. Kind of do some things where all sports are just kind of intertwined in to be able to support each other more and things like that. So he's working on a plan that we're really excited about with that. And I think that's it. We'll open up for questions now.
Coach, in addition to Kateri, who are some of the newcomers do you expect big things from this season?
Yeah, Chris, how you doing? Eylia Love, a transfer from Louisville, really exciting player. Going to play multiple positions. Can put you in the mind of what Cam and Bria were playing at the 3-4 spot. The difference is she's done it at a high level and understands exactly what needs to be done every single game. On top of that, Ashley, who transferred from Texas Tech, is really emerged as one of our starters right now. Not that we have starters, but she's been one that's been putting in a lot of work right now. We were getting ready to play like we are on Sunday. It's kind of trending towards her being the person that'll start with the point guard spot. Lefty that can really defend on the ball, get to the rim, and want to get others involved. The other one that was really a surprise for us was Leilani Augman, Stacey Augman's niece that transferred from Troy. High energy, high motor, long athletic. Wasn't a three-point shooter, but we've been working on it like crazy, and now she's improved her three-ball. Shoots it over her head like a guy, so we really, really like that. But another one that's really impressive that we're expecting some great things from.
What do you see as the next, level for this program, and where are you hoping to, be after this year?
Yeah, we expect to be in the top half of the conference this year. If that's top 6, top 7, top 8, somewhere along those lines. Because again, we have the talent now to be able to generate those kind of results. just tough the first year coming into the Big 12 when you don't have Big 12 players, and so you're trying to build that. We have Big 12 players now, so I think we can make a push to get to the top half of the conference.
Coach, what is your push to get players to transfer to come here?
You know, the first thing is all about the Big 12. You know, have an opportunity to play on that stage each and every time. The other thing is the collective and the NIL opportunities you have here. I mean, you have our freshman Kiera has 3 or 4 from the joint and chiropractor, and I can't remember some of the other places that she has that's contacted her that she have NIL deals from. Laila, Canes, and Star Pizza and those kind of things. So again, you get an opportunity here in the city of Houston just to be able to make yourself a household name and be able to be marketable with all the different places that can be able to just put you out in front of their product. That collective, we're growing. Alvin Franklin is doing a great job with us right now, just like he's doing with men's basketball, and being able to do those things. So now we can have the opportunity to offer our kids a little bit more than, you know, our stipend and Austin and those kind of things like that. So we can be able to be on the lines of other Big 12 programs of having an opportunity to pay our kids, because y'all know that's what it is right now, pay to play. So on top of that, the opportunity to be able to compete against the best, and now you having, you know, say for instance, I got a call from Charlene Swenson, who's an assistant at the Aces, and I want to visit practice and those kind of things. So now we're starting to get those kind of people that want to come. Mike Tebow, those kind of people want to come through practice right now. Darius, who's the general manager of Connecticut, want to come through and see what you have right now, because we're on that different level, and those kids starting to see that and have an opportunity to be able to play in front of those kind of people. And those kind of people visit practice. It's just different. It's just different. And I know all the Power 5 conferences or Power 4, whatever you want to call it right now, have those opportunities too. But I think it's just different in Houston because of what we represent in the city itself. One thing about it is Laila Blair is on mock draft boards right now. You know, so again, seeing somebody who came here, stuck through every single thing, and got to her 5th year and ready to go, and now she'll have an opportunity, whether or not she get drafted or not, or some free agent stuff. But the other thing about it is the WNBA expanding, you know, with 2 or 3 teams, and possible with Philly or Houston coming up on another scale in the next few years. You never know what it could be. And you have the overseas things as well, but Houston is just a great attraction to itself.
Hey, Coach, obviously we saw women's basketball grow nationally. In what ways did you see that impact here locally, whether tangible or just fan interest overall?
No, you're talking about it right now, fan interest like crazy. Like seasons ticket sales are up for us right now, just because of people with that fan experience. So now we have an opportunity to have more people that want to come to practice now to be able to see things. And you don't want to open it up every other day for fans and things like that. So we're getting something set up aside now to be able to get them through, but getting all kind of stuff on social media about coming to watch and things like that. But again, it is absolutely going crazy where we are right now with the women's sports overall, because again, it's just taking off to a national spotlight that everybody wants to be involved and be able to see it, especially when, you know, some of these WNBA games, you got a little bit of everybody sitting courtside now, where it used to be just athletes. So now you got stars and all those kind of things that want to go down, and also afterwards take pictures with the young ladies and things like that. So again, it's propelling, and we're excited to see it.
You talked about Eddie being around a lot. What does that support mean? And is there 1 or 2 things you're most excited about that he's talked about doing that you know think will help your program?
Yeah, you know, Eddie being around is just tremendous. It just means that he cares, you know, from top to bottom. Second, he cares about each and every program. You know, that's the thing that's different about Eddie. He's here on every single thing from soccer, men's basketball, women's basketball, and he's around being visible with our young ladies and being able to do that. The other part is just that togetherness. When he, you know, told me about the plan that he has just to make sure all the sports are supporting everybody, because we've been inconsistent with that. And being able to put everybody on that stage and be able to make sure every single person is being taken care of at the level that you need to be taken care of, not that you want to be taken care of. And that's all you're asking for. And he's been tremendous with that, you know, especially when you can go and sit there, and he's not a sit behind the desk guy. So you can go there, he's a former basketball coach, so he understands those kind of things, and they look in out when they talk, and you can be able to, you feel something different with that. And so that's the thing that we cherish most. So again, that positive leadership from the top, and you can be able to see that it just spreads through everybody.
Coach, what are you expecting from Kateri to bring the team this year?
You know, she has the experience, she has the knowledge, she has the game. She has to, right now, get herself in shape to be able to go and play the minutes that she needs to play to be effective on the court. But I expect nothing best than, you know, her best, because, again, she's a kid that, like Laila Blair, that can be able to just come out and be the leading scorer one game. She can be a leading assist person next game. She has the personality where, and that energy, and she's infectious, so where she can take the group and we can go straight to the top, and we can take the group and we can go straight to the bottom. You know, it's just one of those infectious kids that can be able to dominate on both sides of it. And again, our kids, they follow her just because of what she's done in the business and where she's been. But the thing I love about her is she's a great kid. You know, like I said, she was down there shooting right now, getting some work in before practice, and then they shoot again after practice. But again, it's every single day. When we log, all the kids are watching film right now because they got to watch 3 times a week with a coach, and then they got to watch on their own. She's logging the most minutes right now. She's the one that's texting me, Coach Hughey, at night, what's the next thing I need to get better at, and those kind of things. So we're just outlining those things to where you are going to play and be a major contributor of what you've been doing. You were a major contributor when you played at LSU and, you know, won the national championship and those kind of things, but you wasn't counted on for a lot of points and those kind of things. But when they got in games where they needed, you scored 18, you scored 20, you scored 25, you shot 46% from 3, you know, that kind of stuff. So you're capable of doing that. Now we just need that consistency and understanding that I need to do that each and every game coming out. But we're expecting some great things from her.
Coach, last year you guys were the new program to the Big 12. Now this year there's some other programs coming into the conference now, pretty good programs. What stands out when you think about some of the newer teams?
You know, it's you start looking at the different styles. That's the one thing about this conference. Everybody is all over. It's a smorgasbord of different styles, from Utah, who's not going to have a whole lot of ball handling, but, you know, like last year they led the country in assists because they moved the ball like crazy. Colorado, with their matchup zone and playing downhill with their versatility. Arizona, that's in your face, up front, dribble drive, guard you 94 feet. So it's just going to be so many different styles that it's going to be challenging each and every night. And that's what you always want. You want an opportunity to stand up and stand in front of the next team or the next person and have an opportunity to look at myself and say, am I better or are you better? And let's toss it up and be able to compete and see. Because now, you know, the scoreboard tells the truth. And we talk about that every day.
I have one question. You mentioned Laila Blair. She started here as a freshman, and now she's here for her 5th year. What did it mean that she said she'd be returning, you know, with the transfer portal, when she could have gone anywhere else, but she decided to stay here? What did that mean?
Exactly. And just to tell you a little story how that all, Laila had about 5 offers to leave. Some in the realm of 100,000 and all this kind of stuff. And so she invited me to her home with her parents just to come and sit down and have dinner and be able to talk about it and things like that. So we went there, we sat outside on the patio area and we just kind of, you know, started talking a little bit and about the future and where the program was going and different kids we're recruiting and things like that. And I told Laila up front, we don't have 100,000 to give to you. I'm sorry. And it's just simple as that. But we're building towards that. We're trending towards that. And I thought you did well in NIL and those kind of things like that to be able to take care of some of your personal things. And I know it's not about that for you. It's never been about the money part for her. It's about the belief and the faith that she have in her school, her coach, and the program in the city. That's what it's been all been about for her. And she just wanted to make sure I had that same commitment with her moving forward in this time where everybody's trying to find the next fish and pay the most money and get the next kid. And things wasn't going to change for her. And that's all the meeting was about. And her mom and dad talked about that at the end. They didn't care about the money part. She's going to be taken care of. She's always been taken care of, all that kind of stuff. But she wanted to make sure we had the same commitment, the same drive, the same push, the same faith, everything moving forward with the same consistency to say we're going to put forth our best effort to win every single game like we need to. And that was the thing that I love about the kid because, again, she's been the example of consistency, our culture, and every single thing since she's been here from day one coming on the campus. And you can't put a price tag on that.
We have time for one more, just Duarte with the Chronicle.
Speaking of price tag, those conversations that you're having now that weren't there a few years ago with NIL, how crazy are they? Are you hearing these numbers where, you know, kids want this or it's got to start with this to even get their attention, you know, those kind of conversations?
I'll give you one example, and I won't use the school or the kid, but SEC schools, we're recruiting a freshman from my hometown, and they end up signing the kid, and I went to school with her dad, and we have an opportunity just to talk about it and those kind of things, and before we can get on the visit, we watched her all summer, a couple other schools, Pac-12, SEC, Big East, and they all watched her too, but some schools didn't even watch her play because she was playing on a smaller AAU team, but she really can go. In the back gyms, court 12 instead of court 1 and 2 and all that kind of stuff. She wasn't on EYBL circuit on Nike. She wasn't on Adidas. You know, they were just playing at different tournaments here and there. And we were in the midst of talking about coming to campus and visiting all this kind of stuff. And one school bumped out and said, we'll just give you $100,000, and they committed it. Don't know the coach, don't know the program, don't know anything about it, just the money. And that's the crazy part of it, because for me, this thing has always been about fit. This thing has always been about fit in relationships. And those kind of things are going out the window right now. So that's why the coaches on the end are struggling with that part of it. But again, it's a new time and you have to get to it and you got to adapt and be able to go with it. And so what we call this time is speed dating, you know, for us coaches. And that's what we got to do in 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks at the most, figure out what's the best need for your program, what's the best kid for your program, do they come in with some core values and culture things and morals and things like that to be able to fit what you're looking for, and at the end of it, can they play at the level that you want them to play at? And so that's where we are right now, but those talks are really, really crazy because some kids are even commanding money just to get on the telephone.
If I could sneak this last one in. So it seems like when you construct your roster now, it used to be about, you know, you go get the talent, now that's important, but you also have to get the other intangibles to make sure that in year 2 or 3, you're not having somebody that wants to leave or is going to demand, hey, I want this in NIL.
Yeah, and even before that, we used to just look at the talent and be able to say we're going to get the best talent kids. Now you have to look at their culture, their morals, their values, and all that kind of stuff because they're not coming to stay long. You know, that's the one thing we've lost the depth chart in athletics right now. The depth chart is almost diminished because kids can have an opportunity to leave every year. You know, so again, you really have to do some things culturally to be able to keep your kids and build a great foundation once you get them. So that's why we look at all those other aspects on top of, you know, they have a high motor, can they maintain an IQ, or they have a work ethic and all those kind of things. But again, at the end of the day, we have to look at the relationship part of it and the talent and every part of it because they have to fit the culture.
We have time for one more.
You speak passionately about that.
Do you feel like we're doing a disservice to these athletes long-term when we want to turn them into strong men or women in the future?
I can say yes and I can say no. I can just only go by my experience. My experience is I wasn't given anything. I had to earn everything. But again, I think where the kids are right now, because of the things that they provide and the opportunities they create for these universities, they should have some compensation for it, those kind of things, so you can go either way. We just try to keep things to where we don't overdo it for our kids and give our kids a balance. You know, they have learning specialists to be able to help them out, to be able to get their schedule for a week. So the next week, they have to do it on their own. And we go ahead behind them and check it, those kind of things like that, because when I played football at South Carolina State, we had to do that on Sundays. You know, we planned our whole week and those kind of things. So we don't want to lose all the things of taking care of them all the time and pulling them around just to be able to say we are taking care of you, and they have to be able to get some things on their own as well. Create some independence, create some, I can lead and I can say the right things and I can be able to move in the right direction to do the things necessary to be successful. We have to be able to still create that in those kids, and it can't be about the bottom line. Thank you. I appreciate it. Go Cougs!
Laila, you had, I'm assuming, other opportunities to go somewhere else. Why did you decide to come back for your last year?
Truthfully, I really can't take the credit for that. It was really just God's leading. This is where He wanted me to be, and I'm a firm believer in being obedient to what He tells me.
Eylia, why did you decide to, why Houston? Why transfer to Houston?
Really, it was just the opportunity to get back to who I wanted to be as a player, as a person, and trusting the vision that Coach has, and so it was a no-brainer, really.
Laila, just to follow up on that, if you wouldn't mind opening up about what your prayers were, what was it that the Lord told you this is the place for you, and what connected with you to make that decision?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think really just taking the time to really fast and pray, because it was a difficult decision, just the idea of coming back to school for another year. Because in my head, I thought 4 years and I was done, and I'll be transitioning to playing pro ball. So it didn't work out like that, but in the midst of that, God still comforted me through me seeking Him through prayer, through fasting, and He let me know I just need this another year to develop for what He's preparing me for. And that's why I chose to come back, even though it was hard, even though I had a lot of different distractions coming at me from different ways. It was just me being diligent and seeking Him for the right answer and what to do.
Laila, in this changing landscape, are the temptations out there with schools that want to try to entice players to leave and go? Was that a tough factor in your decision?
I had a lot of I wouldn't say it wasn't even anything direct. I heard a lot of just rumors and people speaking through other people, but I didn't entertain it because at the end of the day, I was already set on what God was telling me. So it was one of those things. It's yeah, I hear these things, but at the end of the day, I didn't really entertain any of it.
Dinner's going pretty well. Coach Hughey said that he came over for dinner. Kelvin said one time a mom made spaghetti, and that was kind of the winning, sealed the deal to get that player. Did y'all do anything special with that meeting that you had to sort of sit down with Coach and kind of lay it all out, and see what the future would hold?
Yes, sir. That's actually a great question. Yeah, that was exactly what we did. My parents, my dad actually barbecued and stuff like that, and just had a really good conversation, but also had a really truthful conversation, which I really appreciated of Coach Hughey, and being willing to come meet with my people, because I know that's not easy, especially when you're hearing all these different truths and stuff like that. So I really respect him for that, and that definitely gave me comfort in what I was choosing.
For both players, women's basketball more popular than ever. Has that changed how you guys look at your own future at all? And do you see that difference in a tangible way at your own games?
Yeah, I think it's very exciting to see how the women's game is changing, especially when we have aspirations to go pro and things like that. It gives us hope that we are able to do and go to what we're trying to do. Yeah.
Just to piggyback right off of what she's saying, I totally agree with that. I think it's a prime time in women's sports for all that that's going on in the women's sports world, especially women's basketball. So I think we have a grand opportunity to continue to participate in that growth that the women's game is having. So just got to take it one day at a time, one practice at a time, and prepare for the games.
This is for both players. What was y'all's biggest focus on improving your game in the offseason?
I would just say consistency shooting, handling the ball. That's probably my biggest thing when I was in the gym working on, and yeah.
Yeah, I think mine was just simplifying the game and consistency and getting more efficient in my shot and just honing in on every skill. I wasn't really just working on just like one thing, but I tried to focus on like simplifying like with my shots, getting to my spot, shooting the right shots. But also film was a big thing for me. It still is. That's something I still want to hone in on because at the end of the day, this is my 5th year. So I think it's time to really just slow down and learn the game, which I've been doing, but I think that's been a prime thing for my off season.
We have time for 2 more. Chris?
Eylia, what have you learned from Laila, what you like as a teammate and as a person?
Layla's great. She really keeps everyone real level-headed, real focused. But she's also really helped us get into our program. We do have some transfers, some newbies. And with her being here for 5 years, it's been really great to have her because she knows what it takes. She knows what it looks like. She's been in the system. So being a transfer, I can speak for, I guess, the other transfers, like, it's nice to have a leader on the team that we can, like, what's this? Like, how does this work? Things like that. So it's been really great to have her.
Last question over on your left.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what y'all would describe y'all's team identity as. Like, we heard Coach talk about these other teams, and like they're like defensive teams. Like, how would you describe y'all's team as a whole?
Truthfully, I would describe us as really just a team that is family-oriented, but when you talk about the aspect of on the court, it's just showcasing that, like, with team chemistry. So being together and honing in on the little things, the details. And I know that, it'll be a different defensive scheme for us, but it's still that aggressive mentality. So, yeah, all of those different things.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.